what was all this about? ये भी जो हुआ ये क्या था? मतलब what was this chanting all about? Why did I do chanting? See, in chanting, while chanting, I was praying, I was asking God to be present here in this moment. Please, you speak. Please be the doer for me. Please be the listener from me. I don't know how to speak. I don't know how to say. I don't know how to convey. This is this is a, you could say this is a what we need to practice, the humbleness, right? That when we believe that we are not the right doer, okay, and he is the doer, हम उसको करता मानते हैं. So this is all about in this chanting. So actually but you will say that if actually we view this body as, we view this as body, we view ourselves as a body, so we think we are the doer, right? And but when one slowly starts to meditate, and then he will realize that there is actually a soul present inside who is doing, who's the doer. Veils fall off, then this notion also goes out. Then also this thinking that the soul is doing, this even notion goes out. What we think then next, what we slowly start realizing, that even this, in the center of this soul, there is the God himself who is the true doer. तो असल में वो करता है. Now there will be a question right here ki, if he is the doer of everything, so what about the bad things? Actually, in the case of bad things, what happens that we are उसके साथ एकाकार नहीं हुआ होता, ठीक है? And until we don't realize it, we think we are a separate entity from God, and that's why we perform our actions, we do our sanskars, and we think we are the doer, and then we just undergo our bhogs, जो फिर हम कर्म करते हैं. There the law of karma applies. हम उससे अपने अलग मानते हैं, ठीक है? इसलिए that's why we think we are a separate entity and we are the doer. But the real thing is when you get one with the God, जब आप उसके साथ एक हो जाते हैं, then you realize that God and I, we both are not separate entity, and there you think there that the notion of being the doer, it will all falls into place, and your actions will start happening automatically. This is what happens when you get one with him. So, and all the wheels fall down, and then you realize that actually we are doing so. Our actions also get better, also start getting better automatically when we stay one with him. So, our actions also get better. In this chanting, what I did was I asked God to be present here, to be the doer for me. Actually, the thing is, we all have pride in some way, and you know, pride makes you look ugly. It makes our life very hypocritical, artificial. एक नकली बनावटी लाइफ बना देता है प्राइड. So the moment, so what we need to do is we have to start practicing being the humbleness. जितना ज्यादा निम्रता, humbleness, low key, stay ground, like on ground level, ठीक है? That you more you practice humbleness, everything will fall into place, and you will, the more humbleness and the more you will become the your soul will become God realized. So this is what happens, and even God doesn't don't like people with a lot of pride and ego. And um, if you will see that pride makes you look ugly, it is actually the cause of all the tensions and worries. There is a book, namely What They Don't Teach You at Harvard Business School, and it was a very famous book in 1980s. And what happened, what was written, the author says in this book that all the executives, we all are what, a ball of ego with hands and feet sticking out. मतलब हम सारे क्या हैं, ईगो का, इस अभिमान का, इसका पुतला है, उसकी बॉल है, जिसमें से बस हमारे हाथ पैर बाहर निकले हुए. Because people feel they are lot of excessive pride they have, ego के साथ भरे हुए हैं, and this is what making them look their personality is downgrading because of it. And most it was about a few decades ago, कुछ दशक पहले की बात है, and there were many educationalists in America, and they launched a self esteem movement. ठीक है, आत्म सम्मान का मूवमेंट उन्होंने स्टार्ट किया कुछ दशक पहले, and then what was their proposition? Their proposition was that if if all the children of that society, of that country would have self esteem, good self esteem, they will do better in life. So all the teachers, all the parents, they started focusing on their self esteem. सबने इस पे काम शुरू कर दिया, ठीक है, बिकॉज ये मूवमेंट चालू हुआ. And I hope my language is all comfortable to all people here. It's mix of all. So तो उन्होंने सेल्फ एस्टीम को बढ़ावा देना चालू किया, एंड सो दे वर दोस गाइज वर नॉट अलाउड टू फेल, उनको फेल होना अलाउ नहीं था, एंड दे वर गेटिंग प्रमोटेड, ठीक है, एंड देयर सेल्फ एस्टीम, हाउ दिस स्टूडेंट वर कमिंग graduating, they were coming from such education system with a bloated self esteem, क्योंकि बचपन से उनको सेल्फ एस्टीम मूवमेंट की वजह से उनको इसकी बहुत बढ़ावा दिया गया था. दे वर लाइक सो मच हैविंग सेल्फ एस्टीम मूवमेंट की वजह से, एंड दे वर इनकरेजिंग ऑल द चिल्ड्रन टू हैव सच सेल्फ एस्टीम कि आप थोड़ा एक हेल्दी ईगो रखिए, थोड़ा सा होना चाहिए कि हाँ चलो ठीक है, इट्स इम्पोर्टेंट है ना. तो ये चल रहा था कुछ अमेरिकन वहां पे उस टाइम पे, कुछ डिकेड्स पहले. So हुआ क्या, what happened next, कि when these children were coming out of in the world, now when they faced the world, what happened, they were pricked out because the world was not accepting such people. Obviously, how could they face people? If you are having some self-esteem and you go out, you will realize that who you are, right? So because of this, because it was not appreciated by everyone, so this movement was stopped. इस मूवमेंट को रोक दिया गया, लेकिन बट स्टिल इट्स रेमिनेंट्स आर फाउंड देयर. आज भी इसके कुछ जो है अंश पाए जाते हैं. इफ यू विल स्टडी, इफ यू विल जस्ट गूगल इट आउट, you will see even in the American coaching circles, you will feel that in some self-help books there is written you should have healthy ego. आज भी आपको कुछ जगह पे इस मूवमेंट की वजह से आज भी आपको at many places you will find this word to have healthy ego. It's good for you to have some healthy self-esteem. So but the real thing is, do we really need this self-esteem, this healthy ego, this healthy self-esteem? क्या हमें ये सच में चाहिए? नहीं. No, this is not what we need. A true devotee doesn't even need this. Why? Because we are the tiny little parts of the God. We're very tiny little parts. And what is the real self-esteem? असली मायने में क्या है सेल्फ एस्टीम? That I am the servant of God. मैं उसका दास हूँ. सेल्फ एस्टीम, दिस रियल सेल्फ एस्टीम, यू नो किसकी थी? ये सेल्फ एस्टीम की मैं एक दास हूँ, मैं सेवक हूँ, मैं सर्वेंट हूँ. दिस वाज ऑफ हनुमान जी. And in Ramcharitmanas, you will see a line, you will see this quote, अस अभिमान जाए जन भोरे, मैं सेवक रघुपति पति मोरे. What does it say? That in this Hanuman ji Singh, I am a proud servant of God. मतलब ऐसा अभिमान भूल कर भी ना छूटे कि मैं सेवक हूं. This Hanuman ji saying that I am a proud servant of God, and that supreme Lord, that Lord is my supreme master. वो मेरा रघुपति, मेरे स्वामी है. ऐसा अभिमान कभी भी ना चाहे. This is what we need to proud of. ऐसा हेल्दी ईगो नहीं कि थोड़ा सा हेल्दी ईगो होना चाहिए, नहीं. ये चीजें आप ऑनलाइन एंड ऑल स्टडी करोगे, आपको देखने मिलेंगी. इसी दैट्स व्हाई आई एम टेलिंग यू दैट कि हाँ एक हेल्दी ईगो होना चाहिए, थोड़ा सा तो होना चाहिए ना कि हाँ यार ठीक है, थोड़ा सा अपनी इज्जत रखनी चाहिए. नो, When you are a devotee, when you are in the path of spiritual line, when you are in this journey, there is only one real self esteem, that I am his servant and he is my supreme lord. He is the doer. This is what Hanumanji did. Come across of the concept of inferiority complex, नीच भावना कभी कभी फील होती है, ये क्यों होती है, व्हाट डज इट हैपन, इंफीरियरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स होता क्यों है? Like there is a desire of me of not getting upwards, is not getting fulfilled, of getting being superior to others, किसी से ऊपर जाने की जो desire है वो पूरी नहीं हुई. That's the reason of this this inferiority complex. On the same side, if I'll think that I am nothing, I'm just a doer, I'm servant, what I need to be proud of, why I need to worry, अगर ये थॉट्स हटा दिए जाएं कि क्या जरूरत है मुझे सोचने की कि मैं कौन हूँ या फिर मैं किसी के अंडर हूँ या नहीं हूँ, अगर ये थॉट्स हटा दिए जाएं तो वेयर डज द इंफीरियरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स विल स्टे, कहाँ ही रहेगा वो? Same is with the stage fright. This is the biggest fear after death. This is the one of the biggest fear the people feel. Public speaking. ये चीज जैसे कि क्या होगा, कोई मेरे बारे में क्या सोचेगा, what will others think about me, कोई कैसे सोचेगा पता नहीं क्या होगा. So this is all, these all are ये हमारे सब इंटेलेक्ट में ये कहीं ना कहीं स्टोर है. ये डर को, you know what is this ego? The ego is the acronym of edging God out. Edging God out, भगवान को बाहर निकालना. तो ईगो आता कब है? जब वी आर फॉरगेटिंग गॉड. जब भगवान चल जाते हैं ईगो आता है, और जब ईगो आता है तो उसकी ग्रेस डिसअपियर हो जाती है. लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल, एक फायर फ्लाई है, एक जुगनू है. So that firefly could say, "Oh, look, I am a light creating creature." मैं एक लाइट चलाने वाला, मतलब एक लाइट क्रिएट करने वाला क्रिएचर. बट इज क्या वो सच में है? इज इट रियली सो? Because when the sun rises on the very next day, where does that light go? कहाँ जाता है? Could the Jugnu be able to stay proud till the next moment? No. It is only in the absence of sun he thinks he is something. But as soon as the sun rises, this proud is all shut off, turn off. Same goes with us. Suppose we made a house. हमने कोई घर बनाया and we say, wow, क्या कमाल किया है मैंने. Such a good house I have made, है ना? But what we are forgetting that this whole universe is created by Brahma ji. ब्रह्मा जी ने तो पूरा यूनिवर्स बना दिया है. इनफैक्ट विष्णु जी हैज मैनिफेस्टेड इनफाइनाइट यूनिवर्सेस. तो इतनी बड़ी ग्रेटनेस है, और हम क्या सोच रहे हैं घर बना के दैट आई हैव मेड समथिंग. कोई भी चीज, कोई अभी अकम्प्लिशमेंट करके आई थिंक वी हैव व्हाट वी हैव डन. So when we keep that greatness of God in our mind, no? So this ego will not stay long for long. It will just shut up. It will just move out. इसलिए भगवान की ग्रेटनेस, जो उसकी क्रिएशन है, उसको माइंड में रखेंगे तो ये चला जाएगा, ये अपने आप ही एज आउट हो जाएगा. As soon as the pride enters, the grace of God disappears. And when the grace of God appears, this this मैं, ego goes out. That's why Sant Kabir has said, क्या कहते हैं संत कबीर जी? जब मैं था तब हरि नहीं, अब हरि है तो मैं नहीं. When I was there, God was not present. And when God was there, I disappeared. प्रेम गली अति सांकरी, जामे दो ना समय. This road, this path of divine love is very narrow. ये जो प्रेम का रास्ता है ना, बहुत ही पतला है, नैरो है. इस जाम में दो ना समाए. Only one personality can remain here, can stay here. None of two personalities. Which one personality? Either from I और भगवान. इन दोनों में से एक ही पर्सनालिटी इसमें जो है स्टे कर सकती है. What Sant Kabirji is telling us through this quote, and you know what we are proud about. हमें एक्चुअली में किस चीज का बहुत ज्यादा प्राउड होता है? We are proud about basically two things. कौन कौन सी? All what I have, and secondly, of doership, that I am the doer. If we will talk about all I have, actually, we have nothing. Actually, we have nothing, but we think because of this ego, because of this excessive pride, because of this acute self importance, we just think, and we have, and we think we have a lot of things. We got proud about a lot of things, about what I have. Because how this ego comes because we feel proud about a lot of things, mainly like a lot of enormous worldly possessions, like material wealth and outer beauty, attractive appearance, and this superior spirituality, this wealth, this mental ability, this charity work, or some of the other things, like if you are carrying on something. So we feel proud about all these things. That what I have, we care about all these things. In this yuva avastha, in this yovan avastha and youth, इट्स वेरी अंडरस्टैंडेबल टू बी प्राउड अबाउट. समझ में आता है, अगर आप युवा अवस्था में यूथ हैं तो आप समझ में आता है, आपको फील होता है दैट यू आर यंग, यू आर, है ना, यू आर प्राउड ऑफ इट. बट दिस प्राइड इवन डोंट लास्ट लॉन्गर. ये भी प्राइड ज्यादा नहीं रहता. ग्रोइंग ना, दिस shed off, this pride shed off, and when you grow old, right, and your back bends, जब आप बूढ़े होने लग जाते हैं and you see yourself the changes, then you realize, then that path of God, if you will follow that path of God, that is natural, obviously, because you have realized after having all the life, after boasting for all the life, at the end you realize that there is nothing, and what I was proud about, now I have nothing, so I'll follow the path of God. This is very understandable, this is natural. But if somebody is following this path of spirituality in this youth, in this yovan avastha, this is something highly creditable. ये कुछ अलग बात है, ये कुछ आपने हटके किया है, क्योंकि आप इस एज में अपनी अपीयरेंसेस को, अपने ऊपर ध्यान देने की बजाय कि मैं कुछ हूं, मैं क्या हूं, या मेरा सब क्या है, मेरा उधर ध्यान देने की बजाय, यू आर इन द पाथ ऑफ स्पिरिचुअलिटी. दिस इज समथिंग हाईली क्रेडिटेबल, एंड दीज आर द रियली द संस्कार्स ऑफ यू फ्रॉम योर पास्ट. This is what you have earned if you are going in spirituality. Isliye that's why it's very important to just carry this youth avastha, this yovan avastha, very careful, to be very careful in these things, because the things you are proud about, they are not gonna last longer. As I've told in the starting, that everyone has pride. So where does this pride resides? ये pride होती कहाँ है? ये हमारे इंटेलेक्ट में होती है, हमारे बुद्धि में होती है, ये हमारी बुद्धि के अंदर होती है. बट इंटेलेक्ट ऑल्सो डोंट नो इट. इंटेलेक्ट को भी पता नहीं होता कि हमारे अंदर प्राइड है. दिस इज ओनली द गुरु, योर ट्रू स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर, who can tell and identify and tell you that yes, there is pride inside you. एक सच्चा गुरु ही आपको बता सकता है कि आपके अंदर वो प्राइड है, और वो कब कहाँ पे आपको हार्म करेगी, तो ओनली गुरु कैन प्रोटेक्ट. Okay, so we have a lot of serious topics. On a lighter side, I will move on, and I'll tell you something. Once there was an elephant who was passing by with his herd, and there was a mouse standing around him, right, near him. He just asked Mr. Elephant from the herd, Hello, Mr. Elephant. Can you please come aside? The elephant just came aside and asked the mouse, "What's the matter? Why have you asked me to come aside?" So the mouse replied that, "Mr. Elephant, I have just lost my short pants. And I am just thinking if you are having it." So, this is I know this is a funny, and you will think the mouse is crazy, right? Because what he is talking about, how could the elephant have that things? But this is actually the state of this human intellect. ये जैसे माउस की अवस्था थी ना, उसको लगता है मेरी पेंट्स ये ले सकता है ना, यही हमारी, यही हम ह्यूमन बींग्स की बुद्धि की अवस्था होती है इस मायाधीन अवस्था में. इस इन दिस मायाधीन अवस्था, दिस इज व्हाट द एक्चुअल पोजीशन ऑफ आवर इंटेलेक्ट. हमारी बुद्धि ऐसी है इस मायाधीन अवस्था में. हम इस तरह की चीजें बोलते हैं. हम लिटिल लिटिल थिंग्स पे, छोटी छोटी थिंग्स पे वी फील प्राउड. वी फील प्राइड अबाउट लिटिल लिटिल थिंग्स. इसका उसका ये है मेरा, छोटी छोटी चीज. यू बैग अचीवमेंट, and yes, you feel proud. At the basic level, being a proud is a good thing, but excessive pride, वो चीज होना धीरे धीरे बढ़ जाना. Excess of everything is bad. That is what it leads to ego. Next, second thing of which we are proud about. Firstly, I told you about all the things we have, right? Second is the doership. मैंने किया है. हाँ, मैंने किया है ये सब. हाँ, ये तो मेरा है, ये तो मुझे पता है. It's mine, me. The me concept is what of proud. And what is the concept of soul? We. So you have to shift from me to we. This is what changes we have to do. And so there is a story of a man from Greece who went to Socrates, right? And he went to Socrates and said, "See, I have built a house. मैंने एक घर बनाया है, इतना अच्छा, इतना प्यारा, इतना बड़ा, है ना?" He thought मैंने ऐसा घर बनाया. So he was acting as a doer of, proudly saying that I am the doer of this. So what did Socrates do? क्या किया उन्होंने? And he just got a map of Greece, because वो एक Greek side, and like so Socrates is from Greece, right? So he just called out a map of Greece. उन्होंने एक ग्रीस का मैप मंगवाया and asked that person, "Where do you reside, in which city?" It was a dot in the map. In this city, where is your colony? So it was a dot within the dot. In this city, where is your house? It was a dot within the dot within the dot. This little thing he was having a proud of. Ah, see, I made this. Or Socrates student told him that what you are really of. And in Bhagavad, it is said that yat kritam yat krishyami na tat sarvam maya krit. Right? In this shalok, it is being said that, "O Shri Krishna, you are the doer of everything. ये सब करता आप हो. You did it. I did not do it. You have enabled me to do. आपने मुझे काबिल बनाया है ये करने के लिए." And even the you are the source of power. You are the source of energy. और इसका जो सारा फल है, जो all the fruits of this is, the enjoyer of fruits is you, not me. तो जब वो करता है तो वही उसका जो है, उसके फ्रूट के उसका वो है, enjoyer, enabler. ठीक है, वही इसका वो है. So what we need to do is, we need to practice this humble sentiments. क्या करना होगा अब इस ईगो के लिए? हमें humbleness practice करनी होगी, and repeatedly, on a repetitive basis. And if you will ask, suppose if you will ask your intellect, are you having pride? आप अपनी अगर बुद्धि से पूछेंगे ना कि do you have pride, the answer will come no. Why? Because even intellect is not aware about that it is having pride inside it. उसे भी नहीं पता. For this you have to visit saints. आपको संतों के पास जाना होगा, आपको scriptures read करने होंगे. And कई बार if I will say if I will say to just learn and get from the Vedas and learn from scriptures or have more knowledge, this is also not gonna work. क्योंकि कई बार ज्यादा नॉलेज का भी ईगो अहंकार आ जाता है. तो एक संत ही आपको बता सकता है. वी डोंट रियलाइज इट दैट वी आर हैविंग ईगो. हम रियलाइज ही नहीं कर पाते कि हम में है वो चीज. So this is only the true God and only the true sent on a master who can make us realize, right? And so once Muhammadan Akbar, Muhammadan Basha Akbar, what he was doing, he was on his elephant touring the city of Delhi. ठीक है, अपने सिटी दिल्ली का चक्कर लगा रहे थे अपने एलिफेंट के ऊपर बैठकर. And there was a drunkard on side of it. एक drunkard था साइड पे, ठीक है. And when he saw that there is a king is coming forward with on his elephant, you know what he said to the king? He said, "क्यों बे हाथी बेचेगा? Hey you, can you sell me the elephant?" Bash Akbar was very surprised to see that one of the citizen is asking him to sell elephant. This was he become indignant. It was gross insult actually. So what he asked, he said to Birbal, this person should be present in my court tomorrow. And later when that drunkard just came into senses and realized that, oh, what has happened, he was done for. So he just asked Birbal for his help, that Birbal, help me, please, could you save my life? Then Birbal taught him a strategy. So on the next day, when he was present before the king said, yes, what you were saying yesterday, and you want to you want me to sell an elephant to you? Then that drunkard said, Hazur Maharaj, Basha, why would I say so? How could I say so? You, I am just an ordinary person, and you are Hazur Bacha Salamat. How could I even say by selling it, by asking you to sell that elephant to me? And if I want to buy it, first of all, I don't have money for it. Secondly, if I want to buy that elephant, I'll go in the market and buy. I will so say to you. Then, then Akbar Basha, he said, "Oh, really? But I have heard somebody saying it." Then that person said, "Yes, yes, Hazur Maharaj, I know who was that. Who asked you to sell elephants, and I will bring him to the court tomorrow." Akbar said, "Okay, fine, bring him tomorrow." The next day, that person, that drunkard, brought a bottle of alcohol and placed it on the table and asked Maharaji, he asked you, this bottle asked you, it asked you to sell your elephant. Akbar was very angry and said, what is this? What do you mean? Then the drunkard said that yesterday I was intoxicated and my intellect was all destroyed. I was not into my senses. This was this bottle who just made me said so. It was, if you want to punish somebody, na, punish this bottle. This is the real reason of my intoxication because I was not in my senses at that time. This is what happens when you are in pride. You are intoxicated in pride and you don't realize it. But when you come realized with the God, then you realized it. Then you came back into senses. जब कोई घमंड होता है, प्राउड में होता है, उसे रियलाइज ही नहीं होता. हम सबको रियलाइज्ड ही नहीं है. हमारे अंदर एक कहीं ना कहीं वो एक प्राइड है. वी ऑल हैव दैट प्राइड, वी डोंट रियलाइज इट. छोटी छोटी चीजों की, ऑफ द लिटिल लिटिल थिंग्स. Just one thing, this is the one of the biggest obstacle in your spiritual path. We don't realize it. पता ही नहीं चलता है. If you will ask such person, are you proud? Are you proud? Even if you will ask your intellect, are you proud? Answer will come no. So when, so how, so so how did this ego arises? ये आया कैसे? If you will ask me, एक basic level पे, actually this all five evils, ना, जो सारी इंद्रिया विकार हैं, they just develop by their own. But if you want, अगर हम थोड़ा इन दिस मेटेरियलिस्टिक लेवल पे आंसर देखें, तो जो फ्रॉइड थे, जो ऑस्ट्रियन एक न्यूरोलॉजिस्ट थे, उन्होंने ये स्टेट किया है कि एक्चुअली जो प्राउड है, जो प्राइड है, वो इट कम्स फ्रॉम एज सून एज द लाइफ बिगिंस. ठीक है, लाइक अबाउट एट द एज ऑफ इन एट द इन्फेंट, एट द एज ऑफ इन्फेंसी, फ्रॉम अबाउट 2 to 4 years की एज में आ जाता है. So you will say, are kids egocentric? Yes, they are egocentric. They will cry until you don't fulfill their needs. But this is not ego. This is not. They are egocentric, but they are not selfish. Actually, they are not aware about it. It is their inability to understand it. And due to all of this, they realize they are distinct from others. When their needs are not getting fulfilled, then they realize what is happening around. So, uh, we should not be proud about little things because we are not the real doer. हम नहीं करते हैं, वो करता है. When we used to believe this and take this life as a gift and feel the blessings of God, उसकी कृपा मानते हैं, लाइफ को एक गिफ्ट मान के जीते हैं. ठीक है, अंडर हिज हुक्म. हुक्म कैसे? गुरु नानक देव जी क्या कहते हैं अपनी बानी में, पहली बानी में, जपजी साहब में जो पहली बानी रचना करी थी, क्या कहते हैं उसमें? हुक्मे सबको, बाहर हुक्म ना कोई, नानक हुक्मे जे बूझे, ता होम में कहे ना कोई. So everyone is under his command. Nothing is beyond his command. सब उसके हुक्म में है, उसके भाने में है. Nothing is beyond his command. उसकी मर्जी के, उसके भाने के बाहर नहीं है. So listen to this command, serve this command. He doesn't have ego. तो जो भी इस भाने के अंदर रहता है, इसको मानता है, स्वीकार करता है, तो उसके अंदर ये ईगो नहीं आता है. So this was a great thing told by Guru Nanak Dev Ji कि जब हम रियलाइज कर जाते हैं कि एक्चुअल में वो कर रहा है, एक्चुअली दैट somebody, see, we are the creation. It means definitely there is a creator. Who is that creator? In our in spiritual way, we know that there is something beyond our imagination. Even science know that there's something beyond it. So that God, that realized soul, that universe, that master, spiritual master, guru, is the real doer. And when you will realize this, when you will just start chanting Nimrata भाव, निम्रता भाव, have humbleness, कैसे आती है वो? सेवा सिमरन से, by doing all the transactional activities, transcendental activities. भगवान की सारी एक्टिविटीज जब आप उसकी करना शुरू कर देंगे, then you will start doing all that transcendental activities, devotional activities, and starting uh, and have this very clear in your mind. This piece, जब आपके मन में पूरा क्लियर हो जाएगा that he is the real doer and not me, and you will just we are just a servant of God, proud servant, अच्छे दास, proud servant हैं, उसके सेवक हैं, उसके दास हैं. और वो रियल में करता है हमारा, then then that ego will just will got exalted, right? So this was all about in this session, and I will, if I will give you one homework for this ego. See, you don't realize you have pride, your ego, and only scent can make you realize. So what you have to do is, as for homework, I will just ask you that list out all the things that that initiates, that encourage your ego. जो भी आपकी ईगो बढ़ाते हैं वो चीज़ों को आप लिस्ट डाउन कीजिए कि इसको चीज़ को देख के हाँ मुझे कभी कभी फील होता है कि यार मुझे इस चीज़ का घमंड है, मुझे इस चीज़ की प्राउड है, दिस इज समथिंग आई फील या दिस कुड कॉज ईगो. What you have to do that with that list, you have to replace it with a humble thought. एक humble thought के साथ उसको आप रिप्लेस कीजिए एंड इस तरह से आप जो है ईगो को बाहर कर सकते हैं. So that's it. This was all the session about of ego eviction. कैसे आया ego? खुद अपने आप होता है, जैसे माउंटेन्स पे जो कटीले पथरीले जो होते हैं प्लांट्स होते हैं खुद उगते हैं, वैसे ये विकार जो हैं खुद ही आते हैं. हाँ, फ्रूट की एग्जाम्पल के अकॉर्डिंग डेफिनेटली वो एट एट द एज ऑफ इन्फेंट स्टार्ट हो जाते हैं. एंड राइट, एंड उसके बाद हमारे वट एवर द इंफॉर्मेशन इज स्टोर्ड इन आवर इंटेलेक्ट, फ्रॉम दैट इंफॉर्मेशन that the mind creates that superstitions, वो वहम बनाता है कि हाँ शायद ये है, मैं कुछ हूँ, मेरे पास इससे ज्यादा है कुछ, राइट? दिस इज लाइक फीलिंग सुपीरियर फ्रॉम अदर्स, राइट? सेल्फ एडमिरेशन होना कि मैं कुछ ज्यादा हूँ, ये चीज क्रिएट हो जाती है धीरे धीरे. छोटी छोटी अचीवमेंट्स, लाइक यू गॉट फर्स्ट इन द क्लास, you got first in the race or something, you achieve something. From the little things it start growing, that yes, I am achieving something, I am doing something. And then also you start believing, or you start memorizing, yeah, this is what I have, this is what I have, and I am the doer of it. See, I did it, and it slowly just increase as you start growing, because you are not keeping a check over it. And if you don't have any guru or realized uh, one or any saint, then you really need to figure it out. But I guess you need to start actually have a focus on it, right? If you're not aware about it, I'm not sure if you could make it. But because you really need transcends and that scriptures to be there to make it realize, because only the true guru could make it realize. And how will you evict it? कैसे जाएगा ये? भगवान एंटर करेंगे जब आप उनके लिए जगह बनाएंगे अपने मन में, अपने दिमाग में, अपने बुद्धि में, अपने दिल में, सोल में, ये मानते हुए that he is the doer, वो कर रहे हैं, मैं नहीं कर रहा हूँ. आज इस सेशन के लिए भी what I prayed for, what I asked in the chanting, आप ही आके करवाइए. And in the end of this session, what would I say? What would be my reaction? Thank you God for having this session. आपने करवाया, जैसा कराया आप. जब वो ही करता है, सब करता ही वो है, then why we are worrying? Why this body will worry right now? This how that this session go? No, this is not my worry. बट ये जो ईगो होता है ना, आपको एक छोटा डायमेंशन में बांध देता है. मान लीजिए एक सर्कल है, उसमें आपको उसने आपको उसमें बांध दिया. दिस जस्ट मेक यू फील यू आर जस्ट बाउंडेड इनटू दिस सर्कल. बट क्या हम सिर्फ वो इतना सर्कल है? ये what is it make you feel that you are only whatever you are in this whatever in this dimension. But what we are really, if you just raise this circle, you feel that everything besides this circle, we are more of that. हम इस सर्कल से भी बढ़ के हैं, हम इस डायमेंशन से भी बढ़ के हैं. हम जिसको who have to reach God, his purpose is God. तो ईगो आपको एक छोटे डायमेंशन में बांध देता है, जबकि हम इस डायमेंशन से भी बढ़कर होते हैं. तो ये चीज जब आप भगवान को अंदर बिठाओगे, when you start having meditation, when you start doing meditation, then slowly you will realize everything. And when as soon as God enters, the I disappeared. The I, which is in the Latin is the ego disappears, and you attract the grace of God. So this was all the summary about everything. And don't just remember your homework today, that you have to list out all the things that create ego and just replace it with a humble thought. That's it for today. And I hope you all had a great session, and I hope I have not just heard anybody's sentiments. And that's it. Thank you. So now, if anybody is having any of the questions regarding this topic, please feel free to ask. Is anybody having any questions here about this concept? हमें ये तो पता होता है कि ईगो क्या होता है, अहंकार होता है, 5 विकारों में होता है, अच्छा नहीं होता है। पर ये किस तरह से आपके अंदर घुसा हुआ है प्राइड में? हम हैं, हम सबके अंदर वो प्राइड है, हमें नहीं पता है। उस गुरु के पास जाओगे, संत के पास जाओगे, उसको मानोगे तो वो बताएगा, वो पता चलेगा। हमें नहीं पता चलती है। ये कुछ डिफरेंट, अदरवाइज वी ऑल नो दैट हाँ ठीक है, ईगो नहीं होना चाहिए, पर वो छोटी-छोटी चीज़ों में कहाँ आ जा रही और इतना बड़ा ऑब्स्टेकल बन रहा है मेरे पाथ में, ये पता नहीं चल रहा। I know today many of the people are busy because satsang is going on of Maharaji, and I appreciate that. But I had a few students yesterday, few of the people whom I asked if you want they if they want to ask any questions about this topic. I got few questions, like I will share with you if you are not having any questions. One student asked me that. If God says that I am the doer, क्या ये ईगो है? अगर भगवान ही बोले मैं करता हूँ, ये क्या ये घमंड है? क्या ईगो है? So I replied to that person that suppose I am the owner of this phone, right? I am having this phone, or I am having any property, any something. So what I will say, this is my phone, this is my house. Just tell me if I'm stating the facts, अगर मैं सच बता रही हूँ, सत्य बोल रही हूँ कि हाँ ये मेरा घर है, क्या इससे मेरे में घमंड शो हो जाएगा? Will it shows that I am an ego? Similarly, the God is the real doer of everything. So how you could say that he is an ego? Because he is the real doer, and this is the fact. This is the truth here. So this was something we had from yesterday conversation. There were a lot of topics, a lot of questions, right? And but I would like to ask if anybody is having questions from this panel related to this topic. Anybody? No? So I guess we need to call off this session, and that's it for today. I hope you had a great one. So Nanak Naam Chaddi Kala, Tere Pane Sarvata Pal.